What's up, guys? Welcome back to Beard Bytes. This is episode 23, and this weekend is the British Grand Prix, and this episode is free. We had to get the buzzwords in there. No, but yes,
Nice.
this is always free. It's ad free unless the freaking YouTube, Google wants to put an ad in front of you. The man wants to stop you from us hearing. Are you hearing? Wait, they're infecting my speech.
No, they're
They're in
coming to get
they're in
you. They're actually in your house right now. You better turn around. Actually,
Oh my, yeah, bro. The freaking Google Home box there. It's listening to everything, man. The Google phone on my desk, man.
oh
They're
man,
everywhere.
they're coming to get you.
Anyways, yes,
But
sir.
yeah, today we'll be talking about some stuff about Gen AI in alters, Battlefield. It might be in a little bit of trouble, and the big story is gonna be Xbox. Xbox is going through it, and they are suffering. But that's the way it goes. So uh
Wait,
yeah.
hold Max Verstappen to Mercedes. Ferrari. Death Stranding to MP3 to YouTube convert, PDF to Word convert. There, we got all the.
I am
We're
once
trying to
again cutting you
get.
right after the intro so you look crazy just screaming at everybody.
100 free FIFA coins, V-Bucks for free, $19 Fortnite card.
$19
Okay,
Fortnite
anyway,
card. Oh,
sorry. No,
man.
I'm just trying to min-max what we got going on here. But how has your week been, Hedy?
How has my week been? Pretty good. Both you and I both played some games that like kind of mixed, so we can talk about that like at the end of your week. But
Yeah.
besides that, I played some Night Rain, played a lot more of it, really liking it, just kind of going in and just not a care in the world, don't care about the lore, don't care about any of it, just enjoying the game.
Are you liking the new
Hades,
bosses that they added?
yeah, I killed the first one, which was fun. It was really tough, but it's really good. It also helps having competent teammates, which is nice, and it really hurts when you don't have competent teammates. But yeah, it's really annoying. But like it's still fun. Like the thing is with the game is that each run is about like 40 minutes. So by the end of that 40 minutes, you get there and your teammates are just like doofing off, and you're like, all right, we wasted 40 minutes essentially. Feels like a league game kind of.
Interesting. So
Um,
so is each night like 15 minutes, so to say, or?
yeah, I think so
Okay,
actually.
okay. I mean,
Yeah.
that's actually, I feel like that would be like a pretty tight loop. Nice. Okay, that sounds
Yeah, it's
interesting.
about 15 minutes because the timer for the night obviously is the same, and the amount of things that you do in the amount of things that you do in like the night just varies. How fast you are, where you're going, what route you take. So a lot of it is planning out your route to like get the most things done in a night and like fight the right bosses at the right times, because like you can technically go anywhere on the map at any time during the night
Mm,
until the circle closes in. But it's more so like if I go to like the castle, for example, they are way over leveled there, so it doesn't make sense for me to go there night one. I'll get my shit rocked and like waste a lot of time. So
mm.
go to the easier areas around it. At night two, when I'm level like 9 8ish, I should then go to the castle and kill those bosses and get those items and that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
So that's the kind of flow that you're going with. And it's pretty good, and they are slowly improving the game. So they're adding more things like new bosses, new like they're adding new quality of life. Like they added just now, like the other day, when you pick up a weapon, it now says what kind of weapon it is above the weapon name. So if you pick up
Oh.
like the scepter of like whatever, it says, oh, this is a halberd class weapon, and it's like, okay, that
Mhm.
is a very simple change, but it very much affects different things, because like some classes are really good with some types of weapons.
Mhm.
So knowing it just right out the bat, it helps a lot.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I'm
That's
excited
nice.
to see what this is going to be.
Mhm.
And then I also played a lot of Hades 2. There was a new update that came out, and it's pretty fun. There's a lot of new content. Next update will be 1.0, so I'm excited for that. But I'm just practicing getting my shit kicked in, and it's pretty good so far. I don't want to no nothing more to say on that. It's
Yeah.
still in early access, so if you beat the run, it just kind of says like, oh hey, you beat it. Like, come
Yeah,
back
that's
later.
honestly the reason why I haven't picked up Hades 2.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for that 1.0, just so like just so I don't feel like I came in a little too early. I'm like, oh, okay, now
Yeah.
I kind of Like, okay, well, it's like when you come early to like a birthday party, and you're like, oh, hey, just leave and come back again. So we're not done setting up
Yeah.
the decorations. It's like, okay, yeah,
You ruined it for yourself.
the
Just
allure
oops.
is gone. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get you. I 100% understand. That's why I'm not playing Windblown. It's the Dead Cells Studios. That's their newest game. I'm not playing it because it's in early access, and I'm like, all right, I just want to wait and feel this. With Hades, the reason I'm jumping into it now is just like they straight up said at the first launch when it came out, it's like, hey, there's more content in Hades 2 right now than there is in Hades 1 complete. So I was like, all right, like that's pretty cool. I don't mind jumping in and kind of, just playing around with it. So it's also interesting being in a live, like, changing environment of the game where it's like, oh, this build that you had was destroying enemies before this like patch, and now it's like gone. So figure out a new strategy, or like this is new. Some weapons have completely new abilities. There's a set of weapons in this game. It's like a set of torches, and the amount of changes that these torches are going through is insane.
Interesting.
Yeah, because like they are such bad feeling weapons. They're trying their best to make them useful, and it's they're on another iteration right now, and so far it's pretty good, but who knows, it might change by next patch, so we'll see. And then besides that, I've also been playing a lot of Mario Wonder. I bought it for the Switch. I'm liking it a lot, honestly. It's very unique in that it's a new style of Mario, of like, it is a side scroller Mario like the classics, but every level has a unique gimmick to it. Every single level. Yeah. And it's really well done. There's a lot of care, a lot of polish. Obviously, it's a Mario game, so it's cool. I'm still playing through it, and I'll let you know more as I get more into it. I just finished the first world, but some of the levels are actually kind of difficult, which I'm very much appreciative of. So
yeah, I played Mario Wonder back when it came out. Not gonna say yeah. I played it on my Switch. Yes. It was really good. I was surprised. I wish it got more recognition.
Yeah.
Because there is so much polish. Like in each world, and all the wonder power-ups are unique to that to each level. So like nothing like repeats, which is like so insane that they're able to crank like the LSD juices to like 11
Yeah.
and then it's unique, it's unfortunate that 2023 was when Baldur's Gate 3 came out, so it's like that swept, so like, it couldn't get the recognition at that point, but it is a good game.
Yeah, it is really fun. I'm liking it, and I missed like a difficult Mario game, like that feeling of like, okay, this is tough, but like I can do it type thing. So it's good. It's really nice, and I'm really liking it. And then the last thing I did, not in this order, but the last thing I'll talk about and transition to you, is watch the F1 movie. I know you watched it as well. What did you think of the F1 movie?
I wanted to watch the F1 movie in the 4D seats so bad, like it was like a Universal Studio ride, but every cinema was booked out. Like they repurposed all of the theaters for Jurassic Park, so I couldn't watch it. So I can only watch it in IMAX. So I feel like I lost some of like the factor there, like the enjoyment factor, and how people were talking about it.
Yeah.
I feel like as a movie, it's a
out of 10. What would you give it?
It's a 6.5.
6, dude. I was legitimately about to say the same exact thing.
It's a very summer movie, dude.
Dude, yeah, absolutely, it is. It's. Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead. I'll say.
No, it's like the movie is so like when people are like, oh, dude, this movie's unrealistic. I was like, come on, guys. I walk in, and this dude is Brad Pitt is doing the most off the walls shenanigans. You're like, what is going on? And then some of the dialogues seem so flat, and some of the plot points just didn't make sense.
Yep.
Like literally, like one scene, like they're playing poker, the next scene they're hooking up. Bro, what's going on?
Yeah.
Like, nothing made sense. But it just felt very. I mean, this also could be like due to reshoots, because like there was
a lot of reshoots for this? I didn't know that.
Oh, not reshoots, but I think there was like a lot of things cut on the editing floor, I guess, like where there was like a whole like another love story with like JP and like one of the engineers, but the engineer completely got like cut out from the movie.
Oh,
And
interesting.
and people were like upset about that. So I'm not sure if this movie, like, if the finished product was a subject of that, because some of it not necessarily felt like Marvel movie, like MCU kind of dialogue, but it just felt like they could have done more. But it's also funny because there's moments where they're like, "Oh my God, we have the freshest tires. That means we're gonna win." And it's like it's very much like they're like, "Hey, buddy, you don't know about this, so I'm gonna explicitly like
Explain it to
big
you.
warning." Yeah, yeah, like
Yeah.
heavy. Like, there's like no Chekhov gun situation, right?
Yeah.
But
When
yeah.
I went into this movie with the full intention of like, this is gonna be the most schlock like movie whatever, but like whatever. I'm here to enjoy it, right?
Yeah.
And I did the 4D seats that you were talking about, and that raised the movie to me to like an 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
Simply because the seats, I went to Cinemark and they have these 4D seats called D-Box, and you sit in them and they move. It's not just vibrating, they physically like turn with the movie. So when he's like going around the corner, like it feels like really good. When he like drives by like the camera and does like the shots or whatever with the close-ups and stuff like that, you really feel it because the whole chair is vibrating and it's like really sick. Honestly, D-Box is the way to see this movie. It feels really good. Visually, I think the movie was really cool too. Like, I think they got a lot of cool race shots, and then they got a lot of race footage that, like, I was watching with some friends and we're like, oh hey, like I remember that from like this race from that whatever year they were recorded this in. But I agree with you on everything about the plot. The plot is so just, it feels like a crappy 90s movie. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And I kind of knew that going in, so I wasn't expecting it. But dude, the discourse on the movie, people have been upset about this movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, people. So, okay, there is a valid point of criticism, which I do agree with, that like, hey, the way they treated women in this movie is whack, which absolutely agree. I think they made all the women in this movie look like idiots, and it's like really bad. Like they're bumbling over themselves or falling for like the driver because it's like, oh, like spoilers, but like whatever.
Yeah.
And then the other point is that like people were saying like, you know, if this is, people said, and I can see this point where it's like they're making a mockery of the sport itself, where it's like some old like washed up 60-year-old guy can just walk up and do this, and like he can just like do the sport like no problem, and like he's killing it, and like he's coming up with tactics that no one seems to have thought of, like, you know, with the stuff he does in the races and things like that. And then people were upset about that. I can see that point, but I also see the point that the point of this movie is to very clearly get people into watching the sport. You know, so it being kind of shitty in that regard is a moot point at the end of the day, in my opinion. Like, I don't agree with it, but I can, like, it's not something that's gonna offend me or like upset me where it's like, oh, this movie is like, you know, like, don't watch it, it's trash. Like, I think it's fun, but there are some huge negatives to it, you know?
Yeah. I was because I think a lot of people that were watching it, like I think I saw what's his face, Jeremy Johns, and he was like, "Oh, this is a great movie," and I think he watched it in like either the 4DX or the D box, like same setup of like, so so I was thinking like, "Oh man, this is it," like, and I really wanted to see it, but in that setup, but yeah, it was unfortunate to see it because I wish like they would have, like, for example, like in the last like climax piece, when like there's when like the race stops and restarts, like they were like, oh my god, we have an extra set of tires that no other team has, because like we didn't, like when we tried to do qualifying, we just gave up, and it's like, okay, that would have been nice to see instead of just explaining it to me. Like it would have been nice to have like some setup. You're like, oh my god, this is happening. But yeah, it's
I also think that the driver, JP, I think is his name. I think his story would have been way better than Sonny Hayes' story, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like a young up and coming driver trying to save his career and all. Like, yes, it's a little unrealistic. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, it has to be realistic, but I think that would have been interesting to see versus this, you know, with Brad Pitt. But regardless, I did enjoy it, but I would also agree, if I didn't see it in D-Box, it would be a 6.5 for me as well.
Yeah.
But what else did you do with your week besides F1?
So I Oh, dude. Oh, I completely almost forgot about this story. Oh my god. Okay, the day that Death Stranding came out,
Okay.
I
Oh,
was like, you know
yeah,
what?
yeah.
I was really feeling because I'm a momentum gamer, right? I'm like, if I
Mhm,
feel it, I need to go pick it up, and because like there's an element of excitement, right? And that fuels the experience. Like
mhm, mhm, mhm.
there's some element of subjectivity when you're during consumption, right?
Yep.
So I was like, all right, man, let me pull up to the GameStop, good old reliable. Let me pull up and get the game. Pull up the GameStop. Hey guys, you have Death Stranding 2? Oh, nah, we sold out. And side point, this GameStop I went to, I sent Hedy a picture. And there was a line of people out, and I was like, no way, everybody's here for Death Stranding. I pull up, they're waiting for Pokemon cards.
Oh my
Okay,
god.
so I just walk in, and I'm standing. The guy in front of me, he's like, can I get a copy of Clair Obscure and can I get Death Stranding? I'm like, okay, this man knows his games. He's like, well, the clerk is like, oh, we don't have Death Stranding. So I just walk out of the line. I was like, all right, screw it. I'm gonna go to a Target. Go
Mhm.
to a Target. Both display cases are sold out. Like so, like
Wow.
they have two things. Like so the way Target's set up, if you don't know, they have like a plastic holder that they put the game, and then you lift up, and then the copies of games are there. They had two things of Death Stranding, both sold out. I was like, damn. I asked the guy, I was like, yo, where's this game? He's like,
Mhm,
bro, if it's not
mhm.
here, it's not here. I left. Okay. I went to a Walmart. Not there. I went to the GameStop next to the Walmart. The guy was like, I'm gonna be real with you, man. If you didn't pre-order, you're not getting it. And I was like, damn.
Wow.
He was like, bro, he's like, try the other GameStop. I was like, bro, I just came from there. I was like, all right, man. Okay. I call up another GameStop. Same issue. I go to a second Target. I get the last copy.
Ooh.
So it's the last copy that's in the physical like plastic display thing. And I was like, I was like, yeah, man, thank you for getting the game. He's like, bro, like that the clerk, like the Target cashier was like, you know, the first one didn't sell well. He's like, why is everybody buying it? I was like, bro, I wait everywhere. Kojima is the only guy that can make you play his game in real life. How I went everywhere, bro. I went everywhere to get the package and go back home. That's basically what Death Stranding is, partially in a
Oh,
nutshell.
oh,
But
that's
man,
so good, dude.
mastermind, bro. I played Death Stranding before I put the game in the disc. Anyways. I love it. No, but Death Stranding 2, it picks off where the first game it was, I guess canonically, and gameplay. I've heard they improved a lot on like a lot more of the action stuff and a lot more of like the mechanics of the game. Like I'm
How
still pretty
far
early
into
on.
the game are you?
Oh, pretty early. Like I have like 6 hours, but like I'm just like vibing out in the game honestly, because the game feels like you're taking a hike, which for me feels like very cathartic and feels pretty nice. Because the graphics are insane. I'm not even joking. When the intro sequence booted up, like when like oh like the intro title screen, like when you click new game,
Mhm.
dude, I was literally like, bro, did they just like freaking take a DSLR or red camera and
Mm.
record something like the Grand Canyon? And it's like, no, like at some point you just see like some random like alien looking thing or sci-fi looking thing. I'm like, oh no, this is in engine, and the game is phenomenal. Like it looks great. So far they've added a lot of quality of life things where it makes it allows you to like map out your route, and then
Mhm.
it gives you like, hey, warning, you're gonna experience this thing, that thing, like
Oh,
you need to prepare this way, and it gives you sort of like a rating of how difficult the route's gonna be. So
okay. Nice.
because before, bro, I was such a bonehead playing this game where I was like, I see the waypoint, I'm taking the hypotenuse straight line, freaking I'm I carve a path through the mountain, and that got pretty difficult. So it's
Yeah.
nice to kind of get a view of there.
Nice.
And they added a little bit of RPG mechanics where it's not necessarily RPG, but it's like the more you use your skills, the better they get. So
Oh,
like
so
if
it
you're
caters
better
to your
at
style of
combat,
play kind of thing.
what's up?
It caters to like your style of play kind of
Yeah,
like vibe.
yeah. Where it's like, oh, if you're better at gun handling, it gives you get better at it the more you use guns. If you're better at like if you start carrying more and push yourself to the limit, you increase your carrying capacity. So it
Oh,
kind of rewards you
cool.
in that aspect. But the game, I mean, it's Kojima. I mean, it's honestly, I'm just here for the ride because there's nobody else like him making games. It's interesting because there was a quote from the director of Nier Automata, and he was like, I'm paraphrasing. He was basically saying it's such a shame that like corporations or businesses are they're not giving weird producers money to make games. And honestly, it makes sense because like Nier Automata has a weird ass story, but like you play as a robot or as an android, and you can go into the settings and take out your operating system. It's like something so stupid. It's like it's so wacky, but like that sentiment rings true because
Right.
Death Stranding is a pretty weird game, and it's like very conceptual and experimental, and I'm glad that there is a second Strand type game now.
Well, so question for you. Stupid.
Yeah.
Question for you. Have you hit a BT yet in the game?
Oh yeah.
So
Dude, honestly, the first BT was actually pretty difficult.
okay, because
Like,
that's what I was gonna ask. Like, because at the end of the first game, you're shitting on them, like you're destroying BTs left and right. So how do they? I don't spoil it, obviously, but like, do they do a good job of upping the challenge in this one?
I mean, like I guess it depends. Like there is a brutal difficulty mode, but
I guess not difficulty mode, but like, can you just like huck a grenade at a BT and you're fine? Like, is that the same?
no, like it's like I think the first one I did fought they like bullet sponge them a bit, and they make them like a bit more aggressive in terms of like coming to swing at you and like disrupting your ability to get stuff.
Cool.
But like
Okay.
in true Death Stranding fashion, like I ran out of everything, and then some guy came and gave me all of his like grenades and ammo, and I was like, dude, this is why Death Stranding's great.
Nice. Okay.
It's yeah.
Cool. Okay. Well,
But
I will see how long I can hold out playing it until I decide to buy it for PS5 or until it becomes.
oh, just get it, man. Honestly, the graphics are good even on the 60 FPS
man,
mode.
I know.
So
I just.
it's fine, man. Just get it, man. But speaking about from one game about hiking to another game about hiking, we also played Peak.
We did play Peak.
Yeah. So,
Quite a bit of Peak,
what are your
honestly.
thoughts on it? Yeah. I'm surprised we played as much as we did.
How
So
many hours do I got in it right now? I have 8 hours in the game. Dang. Okay. My thoughts. I think it's great. Honestly, I think it's like a fun, just vibe, talk, and like chill kind of game. You know. And I think it poses a decent challenge. Like it's a very simple concept, but it's a very fun concept. You know.
Yeah.
I do think. Actually, yeah, no. I'm honestly no notes. I'm liking it, and I think it's fair but punishing. You know.
I agree the same way. There's like some quirky stuff to it. The game's only like $10. We got it for like $5, I think, on sale. Actually, no, the game's $8. We got it for $5. So it's very honest with what it is. So it's cool. And there's like I think it's nice just to see a game that like, because apparently this was like it's sort of a game jam type of game where they're like, hey, we're just gonna make this real quick and then ship it out, and then they did it, and a lot of people liked it, and they were saying they weren't even gonna continue support for it because it was just sort of like a quick project, but a lot of people like it, so they might come back and do it. Add more content and stuff.
This is the new Repo.
Yeah, so funny enough, I saw some tweets about people getting upset. They're like, what are this, like the term that people are calling about like games like Repo, Peak, and Lethal Company. Like all these games are friend slops. So you just get all your friends to play them together, and oh my god, you just call these co-op games. And at first I was like, okay, I guess there's a trend here, but at the same time I was like, bro, you're getting all your friends together to play a game. There's a low barrier of entry. Like everybody can just hop in, play for a couple hours, and and be done. Like if you think about because back in the day, the discourse around games was like, I need $1 per hour, and it's like you can easily knock that out with some of these games, man. So it's and they're pretty fun. You just hop in, you get excited, and be like, oh my god, can you believe this and this, and oh my god, don't do that, or I don't know. And then someone grieves or someone does something, and yeah, it's fun.
It is fun. It is a great game. and I want to play more.
Yep.
I'll play more right now.
This guy. Yeah. And since last time I rolled credits on Clair Obscure.
I have also rolled credits on Clair Obscure.
Yeah. So this is, I guess, like a little review sesh here. We'll try to keep it spoiler free.
Yes, we will keep it spoiler free. I think we have to because
if we drop a spoiler by accident, you're gonna hear a bunch of bleeps.
Yes.
Or I don't know.
Yes, I'll cut it out in editing or something, but there will not be any spoilers in this quick little segment here. Dude, we talked about it a little bit, but
what are your thoughts?
Game of the year, honestly, game of the year easily.
Damn.
And I would go so far as to say it made my list of, I have a list of things that are like, oh, like notable things. This made that list easily. It was so good. I actually have it downloaded, so I'm gonna play more of it later, because I want to explore the world more and like just get back into it. But dude, just what about you? What's your but when you finished it, what were you thinking?
I really like how the game unravels.
Absolutely.
I think there is, and not just that, but like, because basically, okay, story good, the caveman talk, but just how it's presented and how things move forward. I like the progression and how things get revealed, because it's interesting in that aspect. Combat super tight. You can give this to people that dislike turn-based games, and they'll find some enjoyment in there, because like all the characters in your party are super unique, and really make you think on your toes, like about like even just the composition of who you put in the front line and things like that. The world is also very unique.
Yes.
Like I can't say anything. This is unique. This is unique.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah, because if you dive into it, it kind of ruins it. One thing I will say, like from a presentation perspective, real quick, is that, like I like how they play with cinematography, right? And they use it for a very specific point, and it's not like by the way, this happened, which means this, but it's like sometimes like you'll see segments of the game, it will like turn into like a super cinematic piece, and it's like, oh, whoa, this is interesting.
Yep. That's when you sit up and you lock in. You're like, oh, something's about to happen.
Yeah. Like, oh yeah. But yeah,
man.
Sorry, real quick. I agree. Also, I think this is probably front runner for game of the year.
Yes. For $50.
Yeah, for $50 too. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. For $50 for what it is, like, it's so well done, and I like how clear they've made it as to where they're going in the future. You know, which I'm down for.
And it's not obscure.
Yeah, it's not. I would say at its simplest basis terms, this piece of media, this game, you know, this experience is a excellent exploration into the idea of grief, and that's all I'll say about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to say too much beyond that, but like, it's a very good, well-written story about that concept and just how it affects different things and all this stuff. Like, that's not the only point that it's making, but it makes that specific point very, very well. And like, just such a good like game. And it was good like all the way up until like the ending, and then when the ending happened, I was like, oh, this is like a perfect, like, this is a 10 out of 10. They like nailed it, you know? Because a lot of games, they'll do a lot of good things and like they'll play through the game and you're like, oh, this is really fun, like it's going good, but it doesn't stick to landing at times, and that's, you know, that's not a bad thing necessarily, but it does affect the score or like the enjoyment. The fact that this finishes so strong, just, you know, peak, honestly.
Exactly. Yeah. It makes you think about it even after you're playing, because I think the presentation and every character like has a through line that you can kind of see, right? Which in some games you just feel like in some games you feel like characters, oh, this is a main character, this is a supporting character, okay, shut up and go. But this game, you, it's like, oh, you kind of care about how each character, like, how they see the game through the end, right? Where they and like from start to finish kind of thing, right? So
There is also, so I won't say what it is, obviously, but there are some things in this game that it does in Act 3 that surprised me that they were optional. I don't know if you felt the same way, but
Okay, okay, we'll discuss offline.
Yeah.
But yeah, I complete your point.
but
Sorry.
like there are some things that I did and I was like, wow, that was fun. That had to be main path. Nope, completely optional. And I was like astonished that it was optional. You know?
Oh yeah, you're right. There's so much in like the explorable world that is all optional.
Yep.
Like
It's insane.
there's actually a sizable chunk of lore, all optional. Like
And
that I only found out because somebody was like, oh, there's a guy on YouTube. I forget his name. I think I sent the video. I'm just gonna shout this guy out real quick. He's probably not gonna see this, but I'm just gonna shout him out anyway. His name is Fat Brett. He has a whole decomposition breakdown of Clair Obscure, going through like the characters and all this stuff, and all the stuff he shows. I'm like, dude, like there's one character, literally one character shows up in like in a 30-second cutscene. He has like a 40-minute video about it, and there's so much lore around like that's scattered throughout the game that is not in the main path. So but this, if you were just to go through the main story, that in itself is sufficient. So like it caters to all types of players. But yeah, I really do think this is like the contender for game of the year, like not only because like we haven't seen what the rest of the year holds, but I think like sort of the story, not story, but like the meta presentation on the game, right? Where it's like, oh, you have a game made by ex Ubisoft devs or artists, right? And it's like a ragtag team of like a small studio, like around 30 people or so, and that are, I mean, granted, the story around that is still a little fuzzy because they did use a lot of support team and contractors. Like if you just look at the credits, but like relatively smaller than your average like AAA or even AA studio.
Yep.
And they made like a game that like has enamored people. So like I think just the general aura around that, like, and people will make it way heavier when it comes time to like rate game of the year. We'll see how Death Stranding 2 holds up. But
yes.
I don't know.
You'll be the judge of that. You'll have to let me know. But man, I'm so excited. I'm so excited for the studio to make more. I'm so excited to jump back into it. Just man, what a great time. Yeah. Anything else with your week that you did or wanted to talk about before we jump into the news here?
I'm good, man. Let's just jump right into
the news. Okay. Quick shout out to the email. We have an email that you can send questions to, beardbytesmail@gmail.com. Beard, BYTES, mail@gmail.com. Yeah, cool. That's the only thing. But okay. So first things first that we'll talk about, we'll get into the shorter stories first, and then we'll jump into the big one near the endish. But so fans have found out that Alters, the game about the cloning and the you clone different parts of your life to help crew your ship. It was made by I have it up here actually. It is made by what is this? Where's the studio name on the Xbox? Whatever. But yeah, it was found out that this game has used generative AI in the writing prompts. Is that what it is? In the text prompts?
It's in like the item descriptions, I think, or let me confirm. Image descriptions.
Okay. So the thing is, besides the creativity point, which we'll get to in a bit, a big issue here is that this uses AI generated content without the proper Steam page disclaimer, which is what some users online are claiming. Now, while I don't agree with the idea of generative AI in games and things like that, just because it robs creativity, I do think that the idea of using Gen AI in certain like optimization paths of building a game, I can understand, but the fact they're using it for the content, I can, people might be a little wary of it. But honestly, I don't know what do you think? I'm not sure what the vibe is for this one, to be honest, because it's a
Yeah.
weird thing.
Like I to kind of explain it to people, like there is like the game is a little bit of like imagine you're controlling like a character on a spaceship, and the camera's kind of like pretty far up, and they're like the screenshot that people are like talking about is this like piece of glass, and it's talking about like a captain's log, and so it's like the captain's log is saying some things, and then right above it says, sure, here's a revised version focusing purely on scientific and astronomical data, right? So then it spits out like all this stuff. So in a way, it's like it's seen as like a background like thing that's like just like matrix text on a piece of wall kind of thing, right? Where it's like, I don't know if the intention is like for someone to physically read it.
Yeah.
But it's sort of like there, like I am assuming as a player, I would just see it as like background dressing, right? Where like I'm not gonna sit around there and like pick out everything, right? But there are people that like get very engrossed in games and like very um not locked in, what is it, immersed in games, and they're like they read all of the Skyrim books. You know, there are people that like that like to be immersed in that way. To me, I'm looking at this as like, oh, like this is just a flavoring in the background. And it's one of those things where it's like, okay, do you like from like a flow optimization perspective, it's like, do you want something that like someone is going to pass by all the time, like that the majority of people aren't going to sit down and use and write manually a wall of text and have to like think of like all the ins and outs of certain things? Or do you want to spend like maybe like some time to massage something that like can get you to the point there, right? I feel like this is a point where it's like I feel like AI is all right to use here, because it's like,
okay,
it's not okay. Like there would be a different discussion, right? Like I'm drawing a parallel. I'm not saying this is what happened. There would be a different discussion if Palworld was using if they were like, give me a model of Pikachu but he's purple. And then if they do, if they're like actively saying, here's my thing, go ahead and rip it and chuck it out, it's like, okay, that's like way more egregious than what's happening here, right?
So I see what you're saying about the point of like, in this instance, the question that I rotate to, if that's the case, then I feel like it's pushing a line that's like, oh, like this is okay, but the next generation does it, and like, oh, this more stuff is okay, and more like it'll eventually, I feel like, be a slippery slope, if that makes sense. So that's the thing. I just worry that like if we say, oh, this instance is okay, I don't think you should like kill the company, but I think it's very valid I think it's a good thing that people are letting like the company know, like, hey, this is not cool, and like, don't do this type thing, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's difficult because it's hard to find like, because AI is gonna be here to stay, right? Like there's no getting rid of it. I think,
Yeah, that's true.
if like we're in the moment of like people like getting people gotchas, right? So I don't know, it's like I'm not like, out of other things, I'm not super offended with this, if I'm gonna be honest. Like this is like like, let me say this, right? Okay, bro, you're gonna put a gun to me, but at the end of the day, okay, I have to write so many feedbacks, peer feedbacks for end of the year review, right? And it's like, okay, I can think of things in bullet points, right? So I can be like, okay, I know that this guy this is the qualities that are so great about him, and this is right about like my coworkers, right? But then it's like when you're presenting it, it has to be wrapped around like
coherent
intro, header, and all this other stuff. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I wrote like 10 and then on the last two, I was like, all right, bro. I just checked out the bullet points. I was like, yo, Gemini, just give me. I have a peer feedback for a colleague. Here are the great points about him. Can you just remix it this way? And I got like some things that I took back, massaged it, like edited it internally, and then I was like, oh, because it's like, dude, sometimes it's like it's hard to like.
No, listen,
like,
I understand that.
I'm imagining, I'm looking at the screenshot and it's a wall of text, bro. I'm not writing up like, oh, this is from system Zeta 9 and scientific data and blah, 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 type O, blood type, and this. I'm like, all right, man. You need something to just
Listen,
kind of get it and go.
I understand that point, and I
Yeah.
to an extent I agree with it. Where it's like, yes, those tasks like the menial tasks you can optimize things like that. I also would agree with you that to me, this is not that offensive. The specific instance that this is used in.
Yeah.
But what I am cautious about is if I say that other companies, bigger companies, will take this and push the envelope even further to a point where then it does become egregious or like it is offensive. But then you look back, oh, where did that start? I would say it starts here, where it's like people are okay with using it in this creative medium. I understand the logic, I understand the reasoning as like it's just a background piece of text. You don't need to like think it through that deeply. But I think in the way that the gaming industry is now, especially, companies are looking to take any kind of cut they can, and if this is the first start of that, then I think it'll get worse and worse if we allow this kind of idea to be comfortable in the gaming space.
Yeah, I mean, like
that's my point.
I see where you're coming from. Like, granted, like this also could be seen as a way to like enable smaller teams to do more, right? It's not necessarily like, so, because I feel like if we're talking about like, oh, the renaissance of AA, like I think this might be like more in that favor, right? Where not from like a capitalism, oh my god, they're gonna throw 10 artists out and keep one, and like not from that angle, but like now from, oh, now you can enable smaller teams to do much more, right? Like I think there's different angles to it, because I don't know, man. It's interesting because like we're like, if you're talking about like how technology and software has like influenced things, like then like people should just stop using their phone cameras, right? Because like there's a lot of image processing that happens on the phone that like bam, like okay, like case in point, like Google's like on the Pixel, like
the add me feature or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Add me feature. You're literally making a picture that doesn't exist. And even before then, they had like the best take, where it's like if you take a group photo with a big group of friends and like you just take 6 pictures, it will like highlight everybody's face and then allow you to take the best face and then construct the picture that like looks the most appealing, right? And even to a lesser degree is like Samsung's like super auto sharpening on things, right? Like that make the pictures look way more vibrant than it probably does look like in real life. Like we're already accustomed to like liking some of these enhancements, but I think when it comes in the form of like human creation, I think there's like a visceral reaction. We're like, don't do it. But then I don't know. It's a wait and see for me, I think, right? Like, and I think it's like one of those things where like you can definitively tell like foul play or like bad usage based off how things are done, right? Like, but overall, like the game itself, I heard is really good. But here we are talking about a freaking wall of text, right? Like
I'm still gonna play it, but I see.
Yeah, I'm gonna play it too. But yeah, it's interesting because like it would be unfortunate if like this smaller studio isn't able to like people aren't playing this game because of something like this, right? But if the whole game is good and this is just the minor talking point that like drowns out the interest in the game, then it's like, I don't know. Well, interesting to see.
The thing is, like, studios struggling to get people to play their games is not a new concept, you know. Apparently EA is having this problem as well with Battlefield, according to the execs, at least. I don't know if you saw this story, but
but I posted in the group chat to some of our friends that are Battlefield friends, like fiends, and I was like, dude, we're gonna get a prime stinker on our hands, man, because EA is expecting Battlefield 6 and the next Battlefield to hit 1 million players. bro.
No, 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 no. 100 million players.
Oh yeah, 100, dude. I'm dyslexic.
You said bro, 100 million players.
100 million, bro.
For context, so everyone's aware how insane this number is. So Battlefield has never achieved those numbers before. I don't think any company has, except for maybe COD. 2042 has gotten 22 million, which is Battlefield's, one of their more recent games. And then Battlefield 1, the best-selling title in the series, has secured maybe 30 million plus, according to an EA employee. So,
that's crazy.
Just for context, but sorry, go ahead. You were saying,
dude, this is insane. The apparently, according to Gemini or Google search, the best-selling Call of Duty was Black Ops 3. Okay, granted, this is a fandom wiki. I don't know how true this is. Let me just, I have to Google this real quick. What does Screen Rant have to say about Call of Duty? The best Call of Duty. Okay, the estimates that we're seeing, the most a Call of Duty game has sold is around 40 million. How are you gonna 2x this, man? I don't know. Does Fortnite even have 100 million players?
Dude, there's no
I don't know.
way.
I don't know. So we're about to get a prime time thinker, because like that's like the internal expectation. I don't know, man. Like I think I guess part of their strategy is that they want to have a free to play battle royale, which, brother,
Fortnite hit its peak at 11.6 million concurrent players during the Travis Scott concert event in 2020, according to Google.
But I mean, okay, but that's like concurrent, like a bunch of people like down.
Yeah,
like,
but regardless,
out this, yeah.
That,
Like I'm assuming way more people have the game installed.
Yeah,
but I guess
sure.
if they're just talking about like we want 100 million people, to install the game, sure, yeah, okay, but like I feel like battle royale is already a done concept, man. And I think the bread and butter of Battlefield, I don't know if the core loop Zoomers would like, honestly, because Battlefield is a very specific type of game. You feel like you're in an orchestra of war. Like
it's a light sim, I would argue.
Fair, yeah. Like the game is so intense because there's so many factors going on that there's no like battle music in the background. Like the soundtrack of the game is a tank shooting, helicopter whizzing, a guy crashing a jet because he doesn't know how to fly, and then he keeps spawning in the jet again. Like gunshots, all this stuff, grenades blowing up, and some guy trying to do a C4 bomb on a by jumping out of the buggy. Like there's like that's like the orchestra of Battlefield.
And it's good. It does it well, I would argue. Like it's chaotic, but it's fun, and it's like if you have a good squad and all this stuff, like it's a good experience. But I don't think it's 100 million users good. That's that's insane. Like that's a huge number, and it's really telling because, and this is something that's also being reported on. We'll just lump them together, where it's like ARS Technica, this is from a tweet from Battlefield Bulletin, and they have an article listed as well, that the project has faced culture clashes, ballooning budgets, and major disruptions that have left many team members fearful that parts of the game will not be finished to player satisfaction in time for the big launch before April 2026, which, like, that's not something new, but it's one of those things where it's like the leadership is making big cultural and structural changes to, like, they want to release it and like have this crazy scope of 100 million players at the next game. Like there's a lot of stuff going on that's not matching up with what's actually going to happen. And now the question is like, well, is it going to suck? Is it going to be good? And they're going to punish the team for not selling 100 million, like how do you how do you get 100 million players to play your game? That's insane, especially if it's going to be $80, which it probably will be, I feel like.
Maybe, I mean, unless like they expect people to just get hooked on like the free battle royale and then jump in. But even then, like, dude, the battle royale in like Battlefield 5 like was,
didn't it suck?
Crickets.
I thought people hated it.
I heard nobody like played it, or I think it was Battlefield 1. I forget which which iteration, but it's I don't know. It's things seemed like they were gonna go the right way until all this news came out, right? Because I think they were like, "Hey, we heard how the previous Battlefield was, and we learned from our mistakes." Apparently not.
Hmm.
I think like they need to find, not necessarily to dumb the game down, but they need to kind of make the game, I guess, a bit approachable to newbies, right? Like just so
You're
that
saying if they're trying to hit
like
these numbers.
yeah, because without it, like someone's gonna feel overwhelmed that like you have to revive a teammate, then you have to go play objective. Which also, side note, like the game Battlefield is super objective heavy. Like they have a term for it, PTFO, play the freaking objective,
Oh
where
yeah.
it's like you have to like literally. I was gonna spoil an anime, but you have to throw your body on the point, um, and really just like play the game. But unfortunately, I think like even myself when I play, sometimes it's like you kind of wanna get a feel for the for getting kills and being a top fragger. But they need to, like, I guess I don't know if it's like a tutorial situation or just to like make it more obvious or make it more
Hmm.
like gratifying to play the objective. But
Yeah.
I think that's something that would help maybe either retain or be a good introduction to new people.
Yeah, and I would agree with you that like that if they're trying to hit these numbers, like those changes might be good. Even then, even if you make those changes, I don't think they're ever hitting these numbers ever. Like
100%.
that's crazy, 100 million. Like I don't know, man. I don't know what they're thinking over there. I feel like they're just like really trying to shoot themselves in the foot, and it looks like it's headed for disaster. You know.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yep.
yeah, honestly, I don't know. I was excited for it, and I still am, but I'm gonna keep an eye on this, and I'm curious to see where it goes from here.
Yeah, EA, please, not like this.
Not like this. But just like EA, I lost it. I had one. I had a transition, and I completely lost it. So I don't know where it went.
Yeah.
But
I'm gonna step away from this microphone, just like Neil Druckmann is stepping away from the Last of Us TV show.
yeah, so
Take
thank
it
you.
away, Penny.
Good save. So essentially what's happening is that Neil Druckmann, who was working both at Naughty Dog projects and HBO Max's Last of Us 2, is stepping away from the HBO Max portion of it and just to focus on the games that are coming out from Naughty Dog. Basically, he's saying like he's got a lot to do, and it was a big passion of his to work on Last of Us Part 1 and Part 2 with HBO Max. Last of Us Season Part 1 wasn't bad, but I don't think it was better than the game. Season 2, people were very upset with, actually. They said it was too like goofy of a tone and just it deviates too much from what the game is doing, which is already controversial itself. So there is that. I think it's just funny that he basically just joined this project to say he re-released Last of Us again.
Yeah. Someone was joking. They were like, "I can't wait for them to make the remake of the game based off of the show." Like, so it's like Last of Us, the show, the game.
Last of Us, the show, the game, the interpretation.
The interpretation, and then they're gonna release a board game that you find at Borders or a Barnes and Nobles.
Yeah.
It's interesting because I haven't watched the show, but I think the vibe is that the episodes that Neil Druckmann was on were better than the ones that Craig Mazin was on. And Neil Druckmann had a hand in the first season. But part of me kind of wants, not to say I'm just a hate watcher, but like if this goes down, like if season 3 doesn't work out, then I hope Sony like is like, hey, aware not to like, okay, let's just pump out more of our shows of our games. I don't know, man. It's just I want shows in like that take place in the same universe. I don't want a retelling of the game. Like, I don't. Is this how? Okay, I am dyslexic. I think I don't read books. Is this how book people feel when movies come out? And they're gonna be like, bro, this is bar for bar exactly the same as the book. Is that how people feel? I don't know, because with gaming, you're like, you already see the story, so like, I don't want to see the cutscene in real life. I don't want to see an Unreal Engine 7 freaking cutscene, bro, with the red cameras. Just
Fair.
play it. Just I want a different feeling. I want a different interpretation. There was something that we watched, Fallout. Fallout is like the best example of that, right? Where it's like, I don't wanna see Fallout 3 being translated. I want to see just like something that is happening in the same world, you know?
Yeah. That is true.
I don't know if it's like a, because what's his name? Todd Howard. Todd Howard said that the Fallout TV show, from his mindset, like he was looking at this as like, I'm making Fallout 5, right? In terms of like the lore building and the thought process and how he's approaching this, right? From a production standpoint, he's like, I'm adding more to the universe. So I don't know if this is just like an issue that some of the Sony IPs can only have so many limited stories to tell, or that the stories that they want to tell, like whatever additions to the universe, they would just rather save them as games, right? Like if you have The Last of Us 3 in your back pocket, or if you have the next Horizon story figured out, do you want to put that to a TV show, or do you want to put that towards a game and then generate, like, you know, like,
Yeah.
maybe it's like they have to look at it from like a resourcing perspective. But I just don't want to see the same thing again, man. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, well, listen, brother, you're not a Last of Us head. You're not a lasting head, bro. You gotta.
That's crazy.
Yeah, no, I would agree with you.
Yes.
I don't know if, like you said, remaking every single thing in the world is the move, but obviously if it works and it makes money, then they're gonna keep doing it. So
Yeah.
you know, maybe you should have thought about that before you started being a hater.
That's
Thought
true,
about that?
man. That's very true. Yeah, I'm thinking about it right now.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, just like people over at Xbox should be thinking about looking for a new job, because holy shit, dude.
Bro, what is this transition?
It's
dude?
insane right now, dog. Oh my god, dude. Xbox, this is the big story of the week. Xbox is going through it right now. They had some massive layoffs over the past week, or they're gonna be having layoffs very soon.
But they already had the layoffs. I think it was communicated, like, I think earlier this week, and then I guess people were getting notified now, and then I don't know if it's effective immediately, but I mean, some studio heads left, but I think in other individual contributors are like, I guess, hearing the news now, and maybe after 2 weeks. But yeah, it's
dude,
not a good time.
It's really bad, and it's one of those things where there's no winning in this situation, right? And I mean that from a perspective of, if you make a good game, your studio's cut. If you make a bad game, your studio's cut. If you're making a game that hasn't even come out yet, your studio's cut. Like, there's no safety anywhere in this space right now, especially under Xbox. So the question is, like, why do people go into the field? Why would they, right? New developers, things like that. And two, like, why would anybody ever agree to work under Xbox at this point? Because they're just killing things left and right, and it's not making any sense as to what their business plan is. I genuinely don't know. There is a rumor that the reason that they're doing these cuts is because Microsoft is going all in on AI stuff, and they're saying that gaming isn't as profitable as it needs to be. Therefore, make cuts somewhere. And maybe this is the decision they made, but I don't know if that's verified.
I saw an article, or a snippet of an article from Seattle Times. It was saying that essentially they're like top leadership is like doubling down heavily on AI, not from a oh, we're gonna replace people with AI, but from a oh, we want to build out the infrastructure so that we can sell AI to people, right? So it's like basically saying, oh, well, this thing is not needed anymore. So just like you can trim off the things that like the greenfield projects and all this other stuff, and cut funding to like ongoing games and whatnot, and then just whatever's left over, throw that more into the pit to kind of build out some of this infrastructure, right? Because like I think like they're just trying to buy more GPUs and things, and strategic partnerships and blah 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 for making new AI models and giving access to I guess like because I think they deepened their partnership with OpenAI, if I'm not mistaken. So that's like the perspective, because there was some talks of like, oh man, this is such a they're replacing people, but I don't think it's as that's clear cut, right? Because there was a article, or there was a report that was like, hey, they cut like 9,000 jobs, and then like, okay, this is not to get political or anything, but like they went around and like they requested like for like 6,000 plus like H-1B visas. So they're not looking to. So it's not necessarily like a replace of one-to-one like things, but like they're
You can tell
requesting
where
these visas
their
because like,
priorities lie, type thing.
yeah. Like
Yeah.
they're like, okay, like we need like people, but like
We need
replace
cheap
them
labor,
with-
is what they're saying.
Yeah, exactly. I think
Yeah.
that's where it's coming from, right?
Yeah.
It which is
it
it's
sucks,
unfortunate.
dude. It's very unfortunate, and it's a lot of things were canceled and a lot of studios were affected. There's just to name a few. Raven Software, which is they said they were affected by cuts. They co-developed Black Ops 6, and they were co-developing 2025 Black Ops 7, and they're also known for working on Call of Duty Warzone. The exact number of cuts on that one we don't know, but it's the fact that studio is being hit is crazy. Turn 10 Studios, they made this one 50% of their staff were let go. Their last release was 2023 Forza Motorsport. Rare actually, like Banjo.
Actually, real quick, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
The thing with Turn 10 and Forza is crazy because like they don't have that big of an internal team. It's primarily like contractors that they hire, and then like for the job, and then once the contractors are done, they leave. So it's like Forza's going through it as well. Like it's yeah. Sorry.
No, that's a good point. And the fact that it's like 50% of that staff that's not like that is permanent is like what's left. You know, like what are they doing? So I'm very surprised that that's where they chose to make cuts. Rare, which is the Banjo Kazooie type, that Rare. They were affected with layoffs, and their upcoming game Everwild was also canceled, which really sucks to have to work on something for so long and just to be told, hey, by the way, no, it's not happening. Like absolutely demoralizing. They're never going to get to release a game. There was, this one was very surprising, a new MMORPG from the Elder Scrolls Online developer ZeniMax Online Studios, codenamed Blackbird, was canceled, which it's apparently started development in 2018. I'm very surprised that honestly they're canceling it, because I thought that Skyrim, Elder Scrolls Online was a profitable system for them, or a profitable like game, and the fact that they said, hey, we don't no more is that's surprising. Honestly, I'm very shocked to see that they cut that as well.
Yeah, I mean maybe it was just like not close to release or something, but
maybe, man.
I don't know. The one that hurt me or like got me really sad was like the Perfect Dark game, because that one looked so good. There's like been like conflicting reports. Like some people are saying it was like the E3 demo was like fake.
Yeah.
But one of the devs came out was like, no, dude, this was all like running in engine. And just the premise looked really good. Because like Microsoft wanted to bring this game back, and they made this new studio called The Initiative, but they poured a lot of money into it, and I think it was like quoted as like a quadruple A game from like a money perspective. And they were just like, actually no, get rid of it. So I don't know, man. Like that was like a lot of things people were looking forward to, and they just gone.
Yep. High Moon, which is a developer for Call of Duty, was hit as well. Sledgehammer Games was hit as well. apparently Halo Studios was also affected, which is very surprising. I thought Halo would be safe from all of this, but
Yeah.
the fact that Halo was hit is crazy to me. And finally, on this list at least is Romero Games, which is headed up by John and Brenda Romero. They were code devs or co heads for the recent Dooms that came out.
I think it was the original Doom.
The original Doom. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
So there is, they've also been hit with layoffs, and dude, I'm shocked, genuinely shocked how bad this is, and I'm asking you, like, because like you're the Xbox fanboy. No, but no. I am asking though, genuinely, like, do you think at this point it's a fault of leadership? Like, do you think Phil Spencer should be removed from the company at this point because of it? Because here's the perspective, right? Like he was in charge during like this Activision Blizzard merger, and purchasing all this stuff, and ever since then, I feel like since that merger has happened, to me, it looks like they've just been trying to recuperate their losses and the amount of money they spent for that, because it's a lot of money. They spent a lot of money for it, and I'm sure they're still paying it out, but the other games that aren't as profitable, like, aren't making the cut, and they have to, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. I think if this was an independent, like, okay, like, it's like a lot of it kind of feeds into each other, right? Part of it is, I think, Xbox as a brand, like, I think is doing okay. Like, it's not running negative, I don't think, right?
you're saying Xbox is not.
Yeah, I'm assuming. I don't know anything on the inside. I'm just assuming, right? Because they are reporting that like subscription numbers are up, and like, I don't think it's running negative. I'll fact check after I say my point, but I think this kind of comes in a way of like side tangent, but like how Google, like, how there's a thing of like people saying like, oh, Google just kills off all of its products and it has like 30 different like FaceTime alternatives and messaging apps.
Yeah.
Like, I think the premise behind it is that like Google will do something and then be like, oh, we're not able to get like 100 million users, so we're just gonna kill it, right? Where it's like they can, in a single product, generate enough revenue to be as sufficient as like more than like a lot of other companies, but they're like, this isn't the scale that we want, right? To a degree, I think maybe that's where Microsoft is, or Xbox is at, right? Where you have a company that has like a bunch of different arms and umbrellas, right?
Yeah.
Like one side of the equation is like generating a buttload of money with the AI stuff, right? And then the other side is like, it's struggling a bit, but it's like okay, we're funneling some money here, but like I know that like if you put like I don't know, like $1,000 on the AI side, you're gonna get way more return than $1,000 on the Xbox side. It's like, okay, dude, like, why? Like, as a business, why would you go do that?
Yeah.
Like, at some point, you just like, okay, just cut it and go, right? Like, because there have been talks in the past, like a long time ago, that like Microsoft would sell off Xbox, right, and just like focus specifically on just being like a tech and cloud company versus like being like a gaming entertainment company. But like now, like, since they like hold two sides, like there's only so much like subsidizing that they can do.
Yeah.
To an extent, but like, yeah, I don't know. It could be that like Phil Spencer, like let me rephrase. I feel like in general, like, I think Xbox, like, they could have pivoted harder into console exclusives.
Yes.
But I feel like they definitively like were losing out pretty heavy, right? Like after the 360, like after Gears and after Gears and Halo.
Yeah.
Like, when it came to the next generation, there wasn't really anything to kind of like ignite that fire, and they kind of made like a left turn and became like trying to go the publishing route.
The thing is, though, it's not, that left turn, I don't think has been working out for them, right? Like, they acquired studios, and I feel like the point of acquiring the studios should have been, and I don't agree with this idea, but from a business perspective, that should have been, hey, like let's say Arcane, we now own Arcane Studios. Okay, all Arcane games are Xbox and PC exclusive, no PS5. You know, like, again, I don't agree with it, but if
Yeah.
they're trying to make a dent in the market, that's the way to do it. But instead, they said, "Oh, we're friendly to everybody. Like everyone can have our, like everyone has access to our games." Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. But then I don't know if their expectation for these studios is a lot higher. Therefore, you know what I'm saying? Like, if they are not, like, let's take Hi-Fi Rush, right? They say, hey, Hi-Fi Rush is open to the public, for example. Okay, that means that they have to get, quote unquote, double the profit that they were gonna get if being just on Xbox. Is that a fair number to give? I don't think so, right? Because there's more to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
So I that's true. So I will say two things real quick, right? I think
yeah,
like this, like one thing is like the FTC kind of like monopoly case against them, like I think was like might have like shifted their strategy, right? Like because like they were initially like, hey, this looks a little bit weird with Bethesda, okay, and then they were definitely like alarms firing when they were going for Activision Blizzard, right? So like maybe they had to say, okay, hey guys, here's my hand, fine, I'm gonna do this now, I'm gonna make sure be friendly with everybody. But the other thing also, this could just be, might not even just be a sales target, it might just be Microsoft is sick of gaming, right? Where they're like, hey, I am like that, Microsoft's like, hey, like they might not want to be in the games business anymore, right? Like if you think about it, it's like if they're generating way more like on one angle, like why would you want to diversify on something that's like still, I don't know, like like it's like, because it could just be like, well, they're done playing with this like this little sandbox, like the real playground is in this AI stuff, right? So it's like, why would you spend your time sitting in a sandbox when you could spend the rest of your time just on another place, right? Like
yeah.
that's my thought process. Like, so it's like, it's unfortunate that like the studios are kind of caught in the crossfire, because like it's like when like private equity like goes in and like buys something. So private equity is like is a type of investing where it's like a bunch of people with a buttload of money go buy like buy like a, I don't know, a dentist shop. What do you call the office for is it dentist office?
Dental office, dental.
Yeah, they
clinic?
buy a dental practice, right?
Yeah.
And then they basically min-max all the numbers and cut off a quote unquote waste and people and all this stuff, and automate things and just say, hey, we made this dental office, dental practice way more profitable, and then they go sell it for a profit. Where like, not to use the words and call people like fat and waste or whatever, right? But like from a like the business cutting
They're
perspective,
making
they're
it
like,
lean, and then
yeah, exactly,
yeah.
right? Like all this corporate BS words, right? We're like, so it could just be like they're subject to that, and it's not a fault of, oh, you didn't sell a billion copies, right? I think that's like, that's because like that's not the business that they're in, right? So, and I think that's like the unfortunate situation, right? Where it's like, if you're dealing with somebody that's like, yo, why aren't you making a buttload of money? And then it's like I can spend my money elsewhere, then they'll do that.
The thing is, I see that point, but then you have Phil Spencer basically coming out in his letter and saying that, dude, we're doing great in terms of gaming. Everything is going well. We're, making money and all this stuff. Subscriptions are up, but we still got to lay people off. Like within the same letter,
Yeah.
So
he's like, thank you for getting us to this point, but like we're gonna pivot, and the pivot, we don't need all this stuff here, which is like, it's kind of,
yeah, and he's hitting all kinds of studios, and like I do want to give him the benefit of the doubt in that, like, I wanted to believe in his vision, but if his vision involves quote unquote cutting the fat, like we just talked about, of people's employees, and like companies that have been releasing successful games. It's not like it's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, I understand the idea of cutting the fat, but it's not. You're gonna sit here and like
Mhm.
you're gonna sit here and like boast about your catalog, everyone you've acquired, and how big you have, like all the subscriptions to the Game Pass, and like what Game Pass is doing for the industry, and all these things, and like releasing, you know, like trying to put it on this front of like, oh, we're here for the gamers, and we're here to like make a good stance and be the good guys in this space. But then they turn around and do stuff like this. It's insane. Like, to me, it's like very like discomforting, and I like
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be any studio to be acquired by Xbox, because it could happen to you. It's happened. Call of Duty and Halo got hit by layoffs. That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Those are the and also Candy Crush actually also got hit with layoffs. Like, that's a huge moneymaker. So I don't know. I'm not looking forward to seeing what's gonna happen. I'm very cautiously watching what Xbox is planning on doing, because they're going all in on this Game Pass gambit, and if it's not working out for them, I don't know what's next, you know?
Yeah, it's I will have to see with how the whatever Xbox Ally region, whatever the X they whatever handheld console they come up with, how that looks like, and yeah, man.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh my man, it's just
hopefully all the folks affected are doing all right, and
yes, I hope
can relax a bit, or find some comfort at least in the 4th of July. Get some time to relax and not think about this over the weekend. So.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just so sad, dude. I feel so bad for these people, and like, we'll see where this goes. But I don't think that Xbox is doing themselves any favors right now, to be completely honest. So
Yeah,
we'll see.
yeah.
But quick pause here. All right, we're back. So yeah, I don't know. I think people are gonna be rioting over at Xbox Studios if things continue to go this way. But
Oh, brother, this guy's but we need a live soundboard. I think that's the next episode. We're gonna have a live soundboard where both of us can just, oh, brother, this guy stinks. I'll play it on my phone into the mic.
Listen, it's a pretty good transition. Okay, you're just jealous that you didn't think about it. But this is, so that leads into this in our final story today, which is Riot Games is opening the door to esports betting sponsors. So this is, I put this in here because it's one of those things where Riot has a huge esports space, League, Valorant, and it's continuing to grow with the game, with I think like the 2XKO, they're going to try to jump in on that as well, and allowing esports betting sponsors on your like program, and allowing them to like have a say in how the program is run and things like that, I think is a terrible idea. But
yeah, it makes sense. I agree. I don't even know if Counter-Strike has gambling like that.
Let's see, Strike have betting.
Yeah, but it's like, bro, it's interesting because like in Counter-Strike you can gamble with your inventory. Like you can take your Steam skins and gamble with that, but like, bro, they're gonna straight up just,
so they do have gambling. It looks like it does have gambling sponsors, so
okay,
Counter-Strike is hit by this, but I don't know. I think that League,
I feel like Zoomers are playing like Valorant and League way more than
like, so that's
other stuff. So
their primary audience is like 18 to 27-year-olds, and it's like that audience specifically is highly susceptible to like gambling addiction and things like that as well. So the fact that they're normalizing putting this out there like this is scary for me personally. I think it's very sad to see, and I think that like normalizing it in this way is the floodgates opening to where next they're gonna start incorporating it into the broadcast, like, hey, like put a parlay on this Baron Steel or something, and like like, you know, like it's just like the idea it is goofy. Like, don't get me wrong, but like there's so much money to be made from this for Riot. There's no way they're gonna keep these regulations on for it like for long, you know. I do think that a big part of this is Riot is losing a lot of revenue to the idea of like no one wants to play League, for example, and like up and coming generations aren't jumping into it as much anymore. So now the question is like, how can they squeeze out more money from this? Well, boom, like betting and all that stuff, you know?
Yeah. It's just crazy, man, because like, bro, imagine the match fixing, bro, that's gonna be happening, man.
Not
Where,
even
like, people
match
gonna be
fixing.
accused, like, bro, you didn't plant the spike.
Yeah.
This dude's throwing, literally.
He's doing my parlay, my money, my life savings.
Yeah, bro, check his DraftKings.
Yeah.
Really, he has a parlay against us, you know?
Yeah. It's actually, it's one of those things also where people brought up the point that like, listen, all right, League and Valorant, I'd say they're pretty toxic already, right? You know, I cannot imagine the harassment that these professional players will be getting after this is taken place and like betting is allowed in this kind of space. And imagine like viewers watching it, they lose a bet and now they have one, like emotional attachment because they're upset that their team lost, and two, monetary attachment. Could you imagine the toxicity that will like just flare up because of this?
Yeah, I'm curious to see how what not what like meta insults or something people would say, or like comebacks or would say like around this. I don't know, like you know how like actually I don't know how to transition into what I'm trying to say, but but I could definitely see the harassment aspect, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, like, I feel like with like LeBron James, if somebody puts a parlay on him, it's like, oh, whatever, dude. Like, you know, like he's kind of shielded away from it. Like,
well, the
like,
thing is,
but I think
the reason I say
but
that
I
is
feel like,
because,
yeah,
like, sorry, the reason I'm bringing this up is because apparently this is like a thing with MLB, where like people
yeah,
bet on baseball and like people like harass the players a lot because of them not like making their parlay and all this stuff. So,
yeah.
but yeah, sorry, you were saying.
No, I was gonna say I feel like esports specifically, like they're more tapped into like the community, like, and they're not like
Oh, yeah.
as phased, like you know, like there's like a level of, there's like traditional celebrity when you're talking about like primetime athletes, but then when you're talking about like esports, they're more like common person, like, because like they're on Twitch, they're in chat, like they are relatively like online people that have like a very forward social media presence.
Yeah.
So it's like the floodgates could be open from that. So yeah.
Damn, that's crazy. Yeah,
Man.
I'm not surprised, but I don't know. I'm curious to see what this is gonna bring, and I think that it's just gonna keep getting worse as time goes on. Personally,
Yeah.
if
If the jerseys look fly, it's all right with me, man. Just
yeah, there you go. So that's the
I
thing.
want.
That's part of the restrictions. They're actually not allowed to have the jerseys with the advertising on it right now.
Oh, interesting.
But that's what I'm saying. Next year or whatever, it will probably get reversed because it's like, why not? You know. But also just saw this Blue Sky tweet, or Skeet, whatever you call it on Blue Sky.
No, yo, stop. Yo, get this man off the radio wave.
I'm sorry, but I'm just bringing this back up. Jason Schreier tweeted out that as one illustration of just how sloppy and chaotic today's mass Xbox layoff has been, some employees at ZeniMax Online Studios are now watching their Slack accounts abruptly get locked out. No message from HR, no word on whether they still have a job, just an ominous Slack deactivation. Which is, dude, it's bad. It's bad, and I wonder how Phil Spencer's gonna come out to the crowd and be like, "Oh, hey guys, you guys know Game Pass is great." So he's gonna get beat next time by someone,
Bro,
allegedly.
Phil Spencer, man.
Yeah.
I thought you were better.
Well,
You were supposed to save us.
Well, he's sad. He's playing. I don't know if you saw this, but he's also he laid off a ton of people, and then like including people from the Indiana
Bethesda,
Jones,
basically, yeah.
Bethesda Indiana Jones like space team, and it showed that on Xbox, his like Xbox account is playing Indiana Jones currently, like right now. So people are like, "Dog, you fired them and you're playing their own game? That's crazy!" Like, oof. So
Yeah, bro. He's
yeah.
like, I real recognize it. Or maybe it was like his hand. Oh, dude, I wanted to say another reference, but I can't.
Why? Say it.
No, it's I can't. I can't.
Okay.
It's maybe his hand is just being pushed, right? And he's
By the state of Israel, is that what you were gonna say?
no, oh, bro, delete this, please. No, no. Maybe it was like Satya Nadella was like, bro, like we got to get rid of this, and he's like, I don't want to, and he's like, you have to, and then he's like, okay, fine, and then he's like remembering his homies.
Damn. That sucks, dude. He's like crying. He's like crying while
Yeah.
playing it. He's like, this game's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a warning to all studios: do not get purchased by Xbox. Stay away. Stay far away if you can. But you know, I am
Yeah.
not surprised. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I mean, any closing remarks before we close out the show?
Play Clair Obscure. Honestly, it's on Game Pass. I think is it on PS Plus? Clair Obscure. PS Plus. Is it? I don't know.
It's on Game
If you
Pass. I'm
don't,
pretty sure.
just get it, man. Yeah, it's $50.
It's
I
worth
arguably
it,
want.
honestly.
It's such a great game.
Yep.
And I'm not trying to overgas it, but it really is. It's just a great experience.
Yeah, I think it's probably in my top like games of like the past 10 years. I'll be honest. Like
Yeah.
that's very heavy wording, and I understand that, but it's worth it. And anybody who's asking me if I should play it, yeah, play it and like enjoy it. And if you do play it, send us an email at beardbytes@gmail.com. beardbytesmail@gmail.com. beardbytesmail@gmail.com. Drink some water and eat a good healthy meal as well. And if you're driving while listening to this, be safe.
Yeah. Also, watch out. It's the 4th of July. Be safe on the roads. Go spend some time with folks if you're able to. If you're not able to, spend some time with yourself. It's all right. And we will catch you guys on the next episode.
Yes, sir. All right. Later.
Later.